Hello and welcome. Today I have an old match. I am in the Tier 8 German battleship, the Tirpitz. This is a match on Two Brothers. It is standard battle mode. This match is definitely before 0.5.6. It's like 0.5.5, maybe even 0.5.4. Probably not before that. We still have the old shells. Anyways, this is a standard battle, which means that it's gonna have lots of camping. I see an enemy Tirpitz, I open fire. Because, you know, it's okay if you shoot higher against the Tirpitz because you don't need to hit low for citadels. However, if they are going at an angle a bit towards you, you still need to aim lower, otherwise your shells will just go over the ship, at least at this kind of range. The thing is that this is standard battle and we are splitting up. It's a 50-50 split, so it might not be very good for us. Unfortunately, this Pepsi Cola right next to me suffered a rather poor fate and, well, he is already dead. This is very unfortunate because in standard battle, usually people don't like to attack. Because attacking puts you at a disadvantage, because pushing into someone is harder than, you know, running away from them. And if you start pushing into enemies and they are running away, they are at an advantage for quite a while. The bad thing about losing a ship early in standard battle is that it puts you at a disadvantage, so you kinda need to be the one that's likely to push in. Anyways, there's a Fubuki over there in the smoke that I can see. She has apparently fired at least one set of torpedoes, maybe even more, so I should be fine if I, you know, even sail here without dodging torpedoes too much, because I don't think she has any. The thing why it's okay that we have lost the ship is because, well, this is the start of the match still, and weird stuff usually can still happen before people decide on tactical options and which side should camp, etc. So it might not all be lost, but this is mostly due to the fact that it's a random battle and people don't really play it optimally at every point. So I guess it depends quite a bit on luck. It's okay though, I mean, it's a game. Especially random battles. Still, you should play to win. The reason that I'm surface spotted is because there's DD, and that's the DD. I told my team to let them know that I am, but at the same time she was already spotted by the Błyskawica, who I think picked her off. I wish there was like a voice command or like a button that you could press which would tell your team that there's a DD within blah 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 kilometers of you. Or, you know, that you're surface spotted and what your surface spotting range is. Anyways, next shot on the York, I think that might not have been high enough. The thing is, it depends a lot on how the York moves. If she turns into me, those shells would have been too high. If she turns away, those shells wouldn't have been high enough. However, if she kept going, I think that was more or less okay. I don't like this. I want to turn away. Not because of the cruisers really, mostly because of the battleship that's over there. The Tirpitz is hiding behind that island. Because I think she might hit me hard. I mean, that was a nice shot, but it was nice because the York turned in a way which was helpful to me, not because the shot was somehow super on point. You can't really have super on point shots unless the enemy, well, doesn't dodge, because there's certainly enough time to do some kind of action which evades enemy shells. And this just means that the enemy has to guess how you're gonna move, or predict it in some way, and well, that just can't always be done 100%. Anyways, it seems our left side isn't doing all too well. The enemies are pushing in from the left side. This does mean that we are at an okay position over there. Because, well, like I said, enemies pushing in means that it's easier to defend. However, I'm not very sure how good our positioning over there is. Whether it's good enough, that is. I don't like the fact that on the right side our team is slowly pushing, but I think it's okay that they're pushing on the far right, near towards the map edge. Because if they were pushing closer to the middle, I think they would be picked off much more easily. Anyways, because I took quite a bit of damage earlier, I don't want to really be within line of fire of everything, and I want to help the left side of the map to defend, because it seems some of the cruisers decided not. Oh my god. Okay, that Fletcher kinda caught me off guard. Luckily though, this York spotted the torpedoes early, otherwise this might have just killed me. Or maybe I would have only taken like 2 if I had passed them, I don't know. Still, I would have taken more damage than if the York hadn't spotted them. Oh, that was lucky that I didn't get hit by that one. However, this means it'll take me longer to get towards the left side of the map to defend. It's okay though, it will give me time to fire from afar. But the reason why it's gonna take me longer is because of the island that's in front of me. Because the island is there, I might not be able to make this turn, and so I have to go around the island, which means that it'll take longer as well, but we might be able to pick off this hipper before, or I might be able to pick off this hipper before she runs away. We are actually at a points advantage now, because the enemies have killed a battleship, cruiser and destroyer, and we have killed 2 battleships and a destroyer. So this means that if the game keeps going the way it is, we would win the game. Obviously it's not going to be, there are going to be many more ship deaths before that happens, but I'm hopeful. Because I think that cruiser is getting picked off, which should put us quite a bit in the lead. I mean, she has 2000 HP, I need 3 overpens and she's dead. Not to mention that next to her is a Kutuzov. Although the Kutuzov might be a bit trickier because she has 12,000 HP and, well, she can have smoke. That was actually rather lucky. I aimed too high and, well, I just got lucky that the dispersion was high enough and put one of the shells into the cruiser. But yeah, the thing is that when you shoot from range, enemies have time to dodge, and this means that sometimes you have to aim lower, sometimes you have to aim higher. It depends on what you expect the enemy to do. Unfortunately, our battleship there got picked off. We are still at a points lead, so this means that things are good. And I mean, you might not have bought what I said earlier about defending being the advantageous side, but look at what's happening on the left side of the map right now. They are getting picked off. Yes, they were at a slight advantage at first, but after that they are losing. Of course, the same is happening to our right side, because they pushed in and they have just got into a disadvantaged position. I mean, it's not so clear cut that pushing in is a disadvantage, because there are times when it isn't. It depends a lot on what the map looks like. Also, I just settled the Tirpitz while she was not turning. That's amazing. Anyways, that Tirpitz is so very dead. It's time to try to pick off this Pepsi, but I don't know if I can do that. The Pepsi could conceivably hide behind that island for like the rest of the match. And we are at the points... Actually, no, we are not at the points disadvantage because we are gonna kill this Tirpitz and take the lead. I got rather lucky on that salvo, that it got a subtle hit, I think at least. Like, the guys on the right side that pushed in now realize that they're losing. And they are losing because, well, pushing in puts you at a disadvantage, and, you know, they weren't paying attention to how many ships were coming with them. Okay, it seems there's a DD over there at the top side of the map. We have to be careful of her, for sure. But the thing is that if we hadn't defended, like if we had gone with the push, the way the enemy team, or the way the right side pushed from the edge of the map, there is no way that we would have won the race of time. The enemies would have pushed into our cap before we would have pushed into theirs, and we would have lost the game. So being defensive is so much better, because it puts you at at an advantage, and well, you don't have to rely on the fact that your enemies take the right path to attack or your allies take the right path to attack your enemies. But yeah, we definitely cannot leave our cap unattended because there's a destroyer at the top of the map. So if we leave, they are just gonna, or the DD is just going to sail in and take the cap zone. I don't want the cruisers to leave. I think that I would be the better ship to go out of the cap to fight enemies rather than them, because I'm a battleship and I'm barely healthy and they still have 2 heals. Oh my god, that RNG. That was rather lucky. Okay, now we know where the enemies are. We know that the Fletcher is there at their cap, the Myoka is there at their cap, the Battleship is also in that area, and the Benson is to the north of our cap somewhere. Luckily though, because this is standard battle, we have a points lead, which means that in standard battle with a points lead, the enemies have to attack you. That's why I tell my Buskovica to fall back and defend. And I also tell this to the enemies in all chat because I want them to attack us. I want to get rid of that Benson that's at the north. I don't want our Aerroon to push in. That's why I tell him that if he runs in and dies, which if he runs in he would, then I would put his name on the title of the video to shame him. Because we are certainly in the lead, and if we push in and die, we will put ourselves at a disadvantage. I mean, it's not really a threat. I don't think I would ever do something like that, but it's just a way to tell him not to please push in. At least wait until we have dealt with this Benson over here. Luckily, one of the cruisers was good enough to stay behind. I should have concealment upgrades on the Tirpitz in this match, which means that my detection range is like 13 kilometers. This means that I could conceivably use the island inside our cap zone and move around and get more or less of an idea where the Benson could be. But yeah, dealing with the Benson is 100% the top priority. I don't like the fact that the Aerroon and the other cruiser are still pushing in towards the enemies. But it depends a lot on what our battleship is doing, or the enemy battleship is doing. If the enemy battleship doesn't go back to defend, then it's okay if the 2 cruisers push in. Anyways, I'm surface spotted, I tell my team, because that means that there is a Benson within 13 kilometers of me. And I have to do evasive action because the Benson can see me, so she could potentially torpedo me. And the thing is that if I'm moving directly towards, or in some way towards the Benson, I could potentially be sailing into the torpedoes, and I would not like that one. But unfortunately I didn't actually use the island and go close to try to spot where the Benson is exactly. I have HE loaded for, you know, because I think the ship I was gonna fight was the Benson. However, I didn't actually get a shot on the Benson. It's okay. I still don't know quite exactly where she is, but okay, now we do. She just entered the cap zone. Okay, I'm gonna slow down for a moment, or I did slow down. And I'm gonna try to take a shot at the Fletcher and then turn around to go into our cap zone after that shot. Okay, 700 HP, so I need one shell hit. That does damage and then it's okay. Turning around to go into the cap zone. There are the Benson torpedoes. This pinpoints her positioning even more, and well, that was a really good shot. Or a really lucky shot. One of the shells at least hit the Fletcher and took her out. This puts us at a bigger advantage than it was before. I don't understand why our Shores is opening fire on the enemy battleship. There's no reason to. If she stopped firing, she should disappear from the Tirpitz's, you know, she should not be outside of concealment range, or yes. So she wouldn't be visible and the Tirpitz couldn't shoot her. Unfortunately, I told her this too late, and so that means she didn't stop firing earlier, which just meant that the 20 seconds had not passed and she was taken out. But because we got the Fletcher earlier, we are still at an advantage. Thing is though that one or two of the cruisers at the enemy cap might die on our team, although it might also be the opposite. But it's still possible for us to lose the game, especially because there's a Benson in our cap zone. I don't quite know if there's enough time for the enemies to overtake us in terms of points if they hold the cap zone, but they might very well just kill one of us. I'm coordinating with the Błyskawica. By the way, I'm not visible to the other Tirpitz or the destroyer because there's an island between me and the Tirpitz, which means that the DD is definitely inside smoke or behind an island. Likely behind an island. Like if okay, what I meant was that we could lose if that Błyskawica took one of those torpedoes, we would have lost the game. Or likely lost. I mean, we still have to kill the DD. By the way, I turned and slowed down once I was spotted, so I figured that Tirpitz would fire. She did, and because of the turn, the shells went over the bow of my ship. But now the important thing is for us to spot the Benson and kill her before she kills us. There she is. She is so dead. But she might take the Błyskawica with her. Okay, never mind, I think we're fine. Luckily, the enemy Tirpitz either didn't have a shot or didn't hold a shot for the Tirpitz. Anyways, at this point, or for the Benson, sorry, at this point the game's over. And Aerroon and York also won the fight against the Myoko, which is good. And we won the game. Because the time ran out and we had the advantage in points. But I never actually attacked this game and it was quite fine. It was number 1, 2251 experience. I did get quite many lucky shots, but this Błyskawica was instrumental in this match. That Aerroon and York as well, but not so much. The Błyskawica was definitely the more important one. That Shores also played well. But look at the experiences. Look at how little the enemies got. Although actually no, they actually got a lot. If they had won, they would have been quite a bit higher than ours. Anyways, I did 129,000 damage. I took only 51,000 damage, 52 actually. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please subscribe and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.